everything around me. The dream and the money set my mind back to contrast. Women with much back trying to trap the sack. But no AQT, you're just another booby. God's much better than Matt Cheddar in Jamaica. Give you whatever and more paper than you could ever scrape by. But it ain't enough when you roll with scrubs. You're black, what you lack is divine love. Come on.
Who you love? Are you for sure?
Attention, but why rescued my destruction in time? Requested my submission to Christ, but I gave you my rebellious side. And I heard your voice say, what do I have to do? I'm the reason the sky is blue. And what do I have to give? I'm the source that you will. And what do I have to say? I'm the sun that lights the day. Is it me? Is it me? Nobody.
They make a mistake with is they open up their hearts to something.
Yeah, that's us. It'll touch you.
See, it take a dude about 3 years before his walls come down. You be done married with him, he's still trying to act. The woman, she just opened it up. Here it is.
That she's been hurt.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Now, once she's been hurt, we know that's now the right guy comes and she ready to go in. She's ready to go in because she's been hurt, but she's in that innocent state where she hasn't, and she just purely see people, all things pure, and she's never been hurt, and she hear the guy say all the right things, or make her feel a certain way, buy a couple meals, buy a couple dozen notes and stuff like that, and you still have spirit of deception. Yes, it will happen. It will happen. One of the stories that I'm reminded of is found in the book of, I just want to look at it real quick, I can look at my notes. It's found in 2 Samuel, the 13th chapter. And it talks about, in 2 Samuel, the 13th chapter, it talks about Ammon and Tamar. Now, here is Tamar, who is, and Ammon both are the children of King David. Okay? Tamar basically is a virgin. She's innocent. She's wearing the garbs that a virgin would wear. You know, she's just waiting. Her value's there. She has not lost her value. Her beauty's there. You know, everything that in that time, that a man that was going to go find a wife, he would be looking for. He didn't want someone that was used or anything like that. You know, he wanted a virgin. And so now here's her brother who has a spirit of deception. Okay? He sees her and you know, and back in that time, this is back up a little bit, you know, they married into family and stuff like that. But here's a woman with this great value, with the clothing of value, the attitude of value, whatever. And her brother, being deceived by his friend or cousin, allows him to feed him something that is negative. And now he calls for his sister and takes advantage of her and strips her of her value. He strips her of everything that, you know, that she has held so dear. She's held this value of being a virgin, being a king's daughter, so dear. And her brother, and she telling him, no, please don't do this. Ask Father for me and marry me. She's saying, please don't do this to me. And this is kind of what is still the same spirit is trickling now. It's still in our, you know, in our society, in our culture now. You're saying, wait a minute, I opened up my heart to you. Please don't do this. Please don't do this. Please don't take advantage of me. Please. And he does. And what happens is this. After he gets done doing what he does to her, now he don't want her no more. Put her out, locked door. I'm done. And so now she's broken and she's lying desolate in the house. She's hurt. She's crushed. At that point, she feels like my value's gone. Who's going to want me now? Go on. And this is what kind of brings us sometimes to the point where it's like hard to love ourselves. Why can't I just be good with me? Why can't I just, you know, why isn't that, you know, I can just, you know, be by myself for a while, or why is it always I gotta seem like I got radars on me that I'm looking for somebody and I'll take anybody?
12 represents divine government. This is the season to get your stuff in order. This is the season to get your stuff established, that you hear him, that you obey him, and that you walk in divine covenant. Because 13, catch this, represents rebellion. That's why when your kid 13 turned 13, that's when they act crazy. That's why when the 13 colonies decided that they were going to declare independence from England, it was 13. 13 represents rebellion. That's why when children start hit that 12, 13 mark, you can't tell them nothing. And then they get about 17, they start getting their senses back. You notice that? That spirit of rebellion, stuff like that. You know how you know when you're 13 and 12.
Yeah.
Amen. And so
because it's that relationship with God that's going to last. It's getting, if you get a man that loves the Lord, you know one of the things I pray for my husband, I don't pray, Lord, don't let him cheat on me. That's not my prayer. My prayer is, Lord, let him love you and fear you. Because a man that loves God and fear God, he's going to love you. So that is the prayer that needs to be prayed over if you're already not married, over your spouse, instead of every 5 seconds to worry about if he's cheating. And in those areas where he's weak, pray for him. Give him, I believe we serve a God that answers prayer. But what happens is that society has made us think that, test drive. Jump in, jump out. You don't like the ride, don't get back in. That type of thing. And not give you time to build a relationship with God. So there's women that see men building a relationship with God, and that ain't the one they want. They want the one that's wild. Or a man see a woman building a relationship with God, and it could go either way, because he see a good girl, he wants to get it's so many things that happen that we have to be so mindful of. But if your standard is my focus is going to be on God, then that's where it has to be. You have to drive in on that thing. I mean, you have to literally hunger and thirst for it. Where so short you don't bring it down low. You know what I'm saying? And that's just all reality. And it is a challenge. Because like you said, it's not just fishnet in the club. There's fishnet all, it's all, it's flowing in everywhere. But it takes a relationship with God. Your commitment has to already be that singleness is going to be light in my eyes. And I'm going to see God in this singleness. I'm going to see him. I'm going to seek him. Because then he's going to give you direction of who you should pick or who you should be with as men. Because you'll be doing the picking. It should be women picking. That's why we make a lot of mistakes, because we pick. Let them do the picking, because God, that's what God has given them the authority to do. Amen. Said something that the pressure on the men has always been on the men because of God's divine order, because of the order that God has for men in their place where he wants them as the covering, as the patch, the protector of the family. He doesn't